Hello everybody, my name is Tanya and welcome to another Top 5 Wednesday. So of course, as you know, Top 5 Wednesday was created by Lainey over at Ginger Reads Lainey, links to her channel and the Goodreads group down in the description. This week's topic is Top 5 Worlds. Before I get started on my actual Top 5, I want to give a quick honourable mention to one that I know is going to be in a lot of people's lists, and that is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. I'm wanting for the most part to pick things that are different than others and to showcase a few different types of books in my top 5, so I'm not including it in my official top 5, but of course we all know the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is amazing and I had to mention it. So coming in number 5, I have something that is a real nostalgia pick for me, and that is the world of the Magic Faraway Tree by Middleearth. This is a world that I visited countless times as a child. I wouldn't even be able to guess how many times I've read these stories. And it's a world that I always loved visiting. Of course, this covers many worlds in that we've got the world where the Magic Faraway Tree exists, but also that the ladder at the top of the Faraway Tree leads to a new world every week, and that you never know what you're going to find up there. I still remember the anxiety as a child of the idea that the world could move on while they were in it. It would move on and that they wouldn't be able to find the ladder down to the tree again. And as a child, I still remember it as a very real anxiety. I don't know that I would have liked to go up the Magic Faraway Tree, because I'd be too terrified the entire time to enjoy myself, thinking that moved on from the tree and that I couldn't get home. This is a very loved copy that I have. It is in 2 pieces. It's got some water damage. I'm missing the title page, but I would never replace it. Coming in at number 4, I have The Worlds, created by Juliet Marillier in Daughter of the Forest. All of her works really, but I have chosen Daughter of the Forest in particular. Juliet Marillier is an historical fantasy writer, so her works are based in actual historical places, based on a lot of folklore and myth from that time. This is a 9th century version of Ireland and Britain. Because they take their setting from ancient folklore, they come with both a historical setting and with other races that existed at the time. So there are tales of Cluricons, their version of leprechauns, and there are also the 2 older races. So we've got the fair folk, which are kind of a fairy race, very powerful, and there are the old ones who are an older, more primitive race and more based in earth and stone and water. And the settings within these are so very fantastical, very magical, but also at the same time very real, and so they're wonderful to come back and immerse yourself in. Coming in at number 3, I have The Worlds, and it is a bit of a cheat because this series comes with 2 worlds that are created in the Thursday Next series by Jasper Fforde. This is the first book in the series, The Heir Affair. In this series we get an alternate reality 1980s England. Jasper Fforde's a very quirky, zany writer, and I love the way his mind works. So England in this version is a republic, and the Crimea never ended. They're still fighting the Crimean War. There's a black market for cheese. Our main character, Thursday Next, is a literary detective, and basically, say no more. The other world that we get in this is the book world, and so that's the world within books. And so the premise of this one is that somebody is getting in and playing with fiction. J.R.R. is actually kidnapped from Jane Eyre, which has a flow-on effect to every copy of the book in existence. And Thursday has to go into fiction to fix this and rebuild the story of Jane Eyre. There's a cat. Coming in at number 2, I have another pick from Jasper Fforde, and this is Chromatogr from Shades of Grey. This is the start of another series by Jasper Fforde, and he hasn't continued on and written further books in the series yet, and I really want him to read more because this is one of the most unique worlds that I've ever read. Chromatogr is a colourtocracy, which means that one's social standing and social hierarchy and their career is determined by what colours they can perceive. So in general, a person will only perceive colours in their colour spectrum. So if you're a red, you're only going to see shades of red, and blue, you're going to see shades of blue. And what colour you see determines your social status. And so there's a test called an Ishishara. You take it 20, and that tests your colour perception, a one-time only test. It's not repeated, and that determines your social standing and your career for life. I've never read anything else like it. It was absolutely amazing. It's been a few years since I've read this and I really need to revisit it. I really hope that Jasper Fforde writes further books in the series soon, because I really want to find out what happens next. It's really an incredibly unique concept and I think it's fantastic. And coming in at number 1, I have something that is always going to be number 1 for me, and I think it probably will be on a few lists from other people, but I don't care. I'm bucking my own trend because this is hands down my number 1, and that is Middle-earth by Tolkien. And I love this world. I'm not sure now how many times I've read this. My guess is around 5-ish. The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. Tolkien is such an amazing world builder. The extra work that he's put in writing histories and creating languages for Middle-earth, the extra effort he's gone into is just phenomenal, and it shows. His world is so well crafted and everything is just so well thought out, and it's amazing. I have a couple of different sets of these. These sets that I have were a present that I got from my mother a long time ago now, and these are actually based off Tolkien's original designs, the designs that he originally wanted for The Lord of the Rings but couldn't afford. The colour, the red in particular, I think wasn't on the original actual published one because it was too expensive, but this was his original vision. We also have the red smog on the back here. So we purchased these ones because they were his original design. So this is The Hobbit, The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. And so I love these covers because they were his original vision for his books. But recently I have splurged and I couldn't help myself, and I've purchased the cloth-bound set because it just was too gorgeous and I couldn't resist. I figure since the others were a present from my mother, she probably should get to keep those ones, in which case I need my own set because I can't be in a place that doesn't have Lord of the Rings, so this is my set. So the covers on these ones are really hard to get out. The Hobbit, Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and Return of the King, which I think is my favourite. So these were my top 5 worlds. Let me know in the comments if you've got any similar worlds in your top 5, and if there's anything that you'd like to know about any of the ones that I do have. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.